Para as pessoas se situarem no que a gente vai fazer aqui, agora que está tudo resolvido.
Agora as pessoas falaram que tá perfeito.
Agora vamos lá. O Kevin vai contar um pouco do trabalho dele com Douglas Adams e também um pouco sobre Doctor Who, porque eu sei que a galera quer muito ouvir. O pessoal das páginas de Doctor Who enlouqueceram, principalmente quando ele falou que ia falar da série clássica.
Sim.
E daqui a pouco a gente vai assistir a série de TV do Guia. Quem tiver a oportunidade de assistir junto com a gente, assiste. Obviamente a gente não pode mostrar, né, no YouTube, porque aí a gente é derrubado, não adianta nada, perdemos tempo para isso. Mas aí a gente vai comentando. Serão 2 episódios, a gente vai comentando sobre a série, o Kevin também vai comentar sobre o trabalho dele, ok? Kevin, I was explaining how this is going to work to everyone, and in a few minutes, and at some point in this live, we are going to watch the TV show, okay?
Okay. How's everyone? Everyone all right?
I'm fine.
Lovely.
Fine, because we are Brazilians, so I don't think we are pretty fine. But okay.
By our standards or your standards?
What do you mean about fine? Explain. Define fine.
Life. Don't talk to me about life.
How is your quarantine, Kevin?
Oh, well, we've got so used to it now. What is it? 2 months, 9 weeks, something like that. And, you know, freelance people who work from home,
That's a good thing.
Yeah, there's been very little change in a way. My wife is about to retire, so we're going to be at home together.
Oh, that's nice.
So this has been a practice run, really, you know. So yeah. But
And
then,
Liam is not there with you anymore.
No, our son Liam, he also works in making videos and things. He works at an editing place in London. He's on furlough, so his wages are being paid to stay at home. But he moved out a year ago, so yeah, we're missing him a little bit. But he's only 3 miles away, so a couple of times we drove up to visit him. He stayed on the pavement, we stayed in the car, and we were able to have a little visit with him that way.
Hi! From outside, hi!
That's really a good thing. Cute.
Yeah, it was okay.
Really cute.
But, you know, it's sad for everyone, and of course we've got plenty going on in politics at the moment, so that keeps us alternatively amused and angry. So, you know.
Just like Brazil.
Yeah.
Or regular mood.
So we'll try and have a bit of escapism tonight or this afternoon for you.
Yeah.
Actually, what time is it?
The time
it's 4 hours more. It's 8:30, I think.
It's nearly 8:30, yeah.
Yeah.
In the evening, and that's fine. If
Sorry,
everyone's
sorry for my Portuguese. Boa tarde, Brasil. Boa noite, Inglaterra.
You should hear
Good
my
afternoon,
Portuguese.
Brazil. Good evening, England. We are here.
That's
live.
kind of a meme.
Oh.
Para quem não entendeu o que a gente estava conversando até agora, Kevin estava dando um resumo de como está sendo a quarentena dele. O filho dele, que também trabalha com TV, faz edições também, está longe, entre aspas, eles moram perto, mas estão separados durante a quarentena. E eles estão nessa situação igual a gente, meio triste, meio chateado com a questão política, mas eu acho que é assim quase todo mundo.
Exatamente.
E ninguém tá tão fodido igual os brasileiros também, então...
Não, ninguém. Infelizmente, ninguém ganha da gente nisso.
Sad but true.
So, Kevin, tell a little bit about how you started working with the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. While I was an art student, I worked in a library, and things were getting a bit awkward because the boss in the library didn't like me very much. And on the same weekend that they were about to fire me, or at least I was going to be in trouble, I'd gone for an interview at a little animation company on the other side of London from me.
Okay.
And on the Friday, I had the interview, and they said, you start on Monday. So on the Saturday, I used to be a Saturday boy at the library. I went in, and the librarian was very cross with me and telling me that I needed to behave more. And I said, you know, you can stick your job. I have a better job to go to on Monday. So that's how I started. And it was very lucky because I worked there for 2 months, and then I met Alan Bell by chance.
Whoa.
So this was interesting because I heard R2D2 bleeping down the corridor at work because the BBC had cutting rooms there. And I went along and stuck my nose around the door, and they were cutting a kind of wish fulfillment thing, a now quite notorious program called Jim Will Fix It. The English people will know all about that. Anyway, this little boy was meeting R2D2 on the set of The Empire Strikes Back. Now that's how long ago it was. The Empire Strikes Back hadn't even opened yet. So this was very new. We'd only had one Star Wars film up to this point. And
you met Mark Hamill too, no?
No, this was on the screen. This is what I was hearing. It was on the screen of the a little boy meeting his hero. And so the guy who was editing it,
what is
not me.
What the fuck just happened?
The guys arrive.
I think Marvin fell over. But anyway, yeah. So I got talking to the guys editing this, and one of them said, "Oh, are you a science fiction fan?" I said, "Yes." And he said, "Have you ever heard of something called Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy?" Well, I'd already met Douglas Adams, and I'd been to see the stage show, and I had the book and the record, and I was all very excited. And I explained it all about it to him for 5 minutes, and then I said, "And I hear there's going to be a TV show." And he said, "Yes, there is, and I'm going to produce it."
You knew, like, the first one to listen about that. Like, it wasn't announced. You just heard it like, well, now we're going to have a TV show.
It had been rumored that there might be a TV show, but nothing was concrete. And that was because the producer that I was meeting by accident, he'd only just been given the script. And he wasn't very familiar with Hitchhiker. He only had heard a repeat of Fit the Seventh, you know, the Christmas special, which is nowadays is considered part one of the secondary phase. So yeah, he was lost. He'd heard that and didn't understand it at all. But here was a young person telling him, "This is exciting, this is great," you know, and my enthusiasm, I think, and he has said this, helped persuade him to take the job. So he only had the script for episode 1. He wasn't really ready yet. So my first question was,
this is gonna work.
well, my first question was, how are you going to do They for Beeblebrox? Which everybody asked him at that point.
Really good question. And
yeah, and he said, "What do you mean?" He says, "I don't think he's in part 1." Well, he is. He's got the graphic, and I thought, "What's so special about him?" he said. And I said, "He's got 2 heads and 3 arms." And he went, oh dear, well, we might have to change that.
Why accepted that?
And I said, "You can't change that." Here's me, you know, 18 years old, young whippersnapper, telling producer, you know, experienced producer, "You can't do that." But anyway, I said, "Do you need any animation?" Because I work at an animation company next door. And he said, "Well, strangely enough, there's quite a lot of computer graphics written into the script."
This was all at the BBC studios.
Yeah, and my boss said, I said, my boss had said that he wanted to buy a computer. Well, that didn't happen for a whole nother year, but it was an intention. So anyway, I engineered it for him to come and meet my boss, Rod Lord, and it all just happened from there. Oh. Have you got to translate all that?
Oh, no.
I'm gonna do like a small part, the most important part.
Yeah.
I love this kind.
Of course.
I'll try to talk you short a bit.
Então, gente,
As pessoas
resumindo,
que
pra
lutem,
quem...
mentira.
Você
Eu
que
tô
quer estudar
mandando-
inglês na quarentena.
Eu tô mandando o link de onde tem a série aqui no chat do YouTube para quem quiser ver. Tá no nosso grupo do Facebook e aí eu tô autorizando as pessoas lá.
Awesome.
Bom, gente, em resumo, porque assim, ele contou bastante coisa que foi incrível, eu gostei muito de saber disso, mas pensa você sendo um jovem de 18 anos, indo trabalhar na sua história favorita. Foi basicamente o que aconteceu com o Kevin. Ele já trabalhava em outro lugar do lado da BBC. Olha que coisa maravilhosa, gente.
Nossa,
ele trabalhava ao lado da
Saudades.
BBC e ele resolveu dar uma espiada lá, ver o que estava acontecendo. Começou a conversar com o produtor. Aí o produtor falou que ia ter a série de TV do Guia. Até então era só apenas rumores, era só fofoca que estava rolando, ninguém sabia se ia ter mesmo. E até então o Kevin já tinha ouvido a série, já tinha ido ver a apresentação no teatro. Então ele era muito fã, muito fã. Então quando o produtor falou, ele ficou super animado. E aí ele fez a pergunta de R$1 milhão. Como você vai fazer o Zaphod? O cara nem pensou nessa possibilidade de fazer o Zaphod. O cara achou, não, mas ele não tá na primeira parte. Até então o produtor tinha feito só um episódio. E aí o Kevin falou, ele tem 2 cabeças e 3 braços. Aí foi assim, rolou aquele momento de, ok, precisamos de ajuda. E aí o Kevin, com 18 anos, foi trabalhar na produção da série de TV do Guia. E é isso, gente. Fico cada dia mais fã desse homem.
Muito
Como
mais
não?
legal do que nossos primeiros trampos, inclusive. Saudades,
Como
trabalhar na BBC.
Gente, na sua história favorita. Perguntaram aqui, vamos ver.
We're gonna open for some questions, maybe.
People
Okay.
are asking if you still think that digital watches are a good idea.
That's one of those jokes that one of those jokes that's kind of dated the script, hasn't it? Really.
Yeah. It
Douglas
stays forever.
did explain this one. He said a very good thing. He said the thing about digital watches, they present you with a number that you then have to translate, whereas an analog watch, not only does it tell you what time it is, it tells you all the other times that it isn't.
Okay. I guess it makes sense.
Yeah.
I'll try to translate.
Precisa trazer isso.
It's like a pie chart, yeah.
Okay, let me.
Okay, your turn, Rafael.
Caso alguém não tenha entendido, o Kevin, aquela conhecida piada do Douglas sobre relógios digitais, que aparentemente a gente acha que é uma boa ideia, mas não é. Pelo que eu entendi, a grande vantagem do relógio analógico é que, além de mostrar a hora que está acontecendo, ele também mostra todas as outras horas que não estão acontecendo.
Sim.
Então é muito mais útil. Brilliant.
We have another question.
Okay.
Why didn't you consider twins for Zaphod's role?
Well, it's a good idea. Ken Campbell, who directed the stage show, there'd only been one at that point when I met Alan Bell. He had 2 people in a costume, had their feet tied together in sort of one pair of giant boots. And it was very difficult for them to walk around on stage, but it meant that you had 2 heads and 3 arms.
Yeah.
But they had to work together. I don't even know if you have this, like a pantomime horse, where it has one person at the front and one person at the back.
All back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, people are very familiar with that idea over here, but the idea of a pantomime Zaphod was it worked, but for television it needed to be something more real. And I think Alan Bell was striving to make it all these fantastic ideas. He was trying to make them real.
Awesome.
Bom, queriam fazer do jeito mais real possível na TV, né? E não chega a ser uma ideia ruim, mas seria mais trabalhoso, por assim dizer, porque era muito comum no teatro, isso de ter uma pessoa atrás, colocar o braço e ter as duas cabeças, mas acho que para a TV eles queriam fazer algo mais fantástico também, por assim dizer, né? E ficou muito bom, vamos ser sinceros. Eu gosto mais do Zaphod, da série de TV, do que o Zaphod do filme, e não desmerecendo Sam Rockwell. Ele tá incrível no papel. Mas a caracterização da série de TV eu acho mais interessante. I think the character, the second head and everything on the TV show, I think is better than in the movie.
Well, of course, many people found the second head to be ridiculous.
But that's the fun.
That's the idea.
Yeah.
You're not going to win those people over because they're resistant, aren't they? I think they chickened out when they made the movie. I think they should have tried to do. I mean, did you ever see American Horror Story?
Yeah.
They had the one in the circus. They had a two-headed character there. Worked very well, but that is 10 years after the movie, so technology's come on a bit more.
O Eduardo perguntou que partes das adaptações. Você quer dizer? Agora eu quero entender a pergunta dele só para poder passar.
Deixa eu ver.
Qual adaptação que foi feita especificamente? É isso?
Não, que parte da adaptação ele
Da
mais se impressionou?
série.
Mais impressionou. Da série especificamente, é isso?
É, imagino que sim.
É isso que eu quero.
Acho que ele está falando de todas.
Então, é isso que eu quero saber. Se é todas as adaptações feitas, ou se é só a série de TV, eu só quero...
Pergunta de tudo, vale a pena.
Eu vou perguntar primeiro qual a adaptação que ele gostou mais, então. Da série ou do filme? Ah. Que parte das adaptações ele mais se impressionou, da série ou do filme? Tá. People want to know... Eduardo,
É muito difícil acompanhar os comentários, acompanhar o que vocês estão
A
falando.
lot of things to do at the same time.
Yeah. Eduardo asked if which part of the adaptations you like the most? Like on the TV show or in the movie?
Which part really impressed you?
I loved the radio show, and that was my first experience, and that is where it all began. Don't forget that. I don't know if everyone knows, but the radio show came first. And I would always direct people to listen to that, especially the first two series, to experience how Hitchhikers was originally. The books came later, and they are the purest Douglas Adams, because it's just him on his own. So you have two things there. I'm very biased towards the TV show because I was young. It was one of my first jobs, my first proper big job. And so I love it. And I remember that year vividly, even though it's 40 years ago. And so I hope that whichever version people experience first, if they love it, they'll go and look for other versions and see all the differences. Celebrate the difference.
Yeah, but in Brazil, I think the book is the first contact we have with hitchhikers, and I think in global, it's the book.
Yeah, because it's been published in so many languages.
Yeah, and it didn't happen with the radio series.
But now, unfortunately, it's been delayed because of lockdown. But there's going to be a new TV series, so a whole new audience will discover it when they eventually get it made. So that's great.
It's a good one.
Yeah, let's hope. Let's be positive, huh?
People are asking about this. So
there is a Guilherme. Guilherme is asking why didn't happen a second season?
That's a slightly difficult story. The short version is Douglas Adams wanted a different producer, and also he was fed up with writing it at that point. He never got the second series script written. There only exist a few pages.
Got it.
If it had happened, it was going to be very different different from all other versions.
Even from the movie? Different from
the movie was a whole nother thing many years later, so it had gone through many changes by then.
Yeah.
But no, it was going to be set on prehistoric Earth. It was going to be an alternative version of Adam and Eve, and there were other images that in the script, like a door in the middle of nowhere. And that's an idea that Douglas used later in Dirt Gently. The door standing in the middle of the field, like a portal to somewhere else. So there were hints of things in there of what it would be.
And you think everything's connected with Dirk Gently and Hitchhikers?
Very connected.
Ok.
Deixa eu traduzir, que senão me perco, porque são muitas respostas.
Tá bom, vai.
Primeira do Eduardo, que ele perguntou qual adaptação que ele gostou mais. O Kevin, como vocês sabem, ele conheceu no rádio mesmo, né, no original. Então, ele tem um amor maior pela série de rádio e ele gostou muito da série de TV, principalmente porque ele trabalhou. Foi o primeiro grande trabalho dele. Mas ele fala que os livros são Douglas Adams puro, porque ele fez sozinho, ele escreveu, é só ele ali. Então, apesar dele gostar muito da série de TV por ter uma paixão maior pela série de TV, os livros são mais Douglas Adams. E qual era a pergunta do Douglas mesmo? Sobre a segunda temporada. Douglas Adams queria outro produtor e teve até algumas páginas que foram escritas, teria uma outra versão de Adão e Eva, teria uma terra pré-histórica, teríamos até um encontro com Dirk Gently, alguma coisa assim, mas acabou não rolando, infelizmente, o que seria incrível, mas quem sabe o ano que vem, quer dizer, não sei se vai sair o ano que vem, né, pelo andar da carruagem em questão do Covid, mas até então, ano que vem, teremos uma série de TV do Guia no Hulu, mas eu não sei mesmo.
É verdade, em que pé que tá isso? Quer dizer, não tá, né?
Não saiu mais notícia
não
nenhuma,
tá.
né? A última notícia...
Micróbio do caralho, do ano da série. Desculpa o palavrão, gente.
A última notícia que saiu, acho que foi em fevereiro, que foi antes do caos mesmo. Que ia
eu fazendo a live, não sei, para menor de 18.
Esquece. Esse é o menos importante. Mas até então a série está prevista para lançar no ano que vem. Em fevereiro estavam começando a falar quem ia participar da produção, mas não saiu mais nada. Então acho que parou tudo pela questão do Covid, né? Infelizmente. Mas o Kevin falou que não importa por onde você comece a consumir o guia, né? Ou assistindo o filme, a série, o que for, ou até você comece direto no livro. Mas contanto que isso faça você procurar outras mídias, outras adaptações, Sim. Isso já é bem legal. Temos mais perguntas? Luciano is asking, what did you think of Ian Colfer's sixth book? I don't know if I said the name right.
That's fine. That's a loaded question. Okay. My son, Liam, was a big fan of Artemis Fowl, which is Ian Colfer's series for young readers. And it's fantastic. It's funny, it's witty, it's got lots of ideas in it. And of course, it's about to be a big movie. We're looking forward to seeing that. But I gather it might not get a cinema release now, which is a shame. But anyway, because of that, I took him to meet Owen Colfer at a book signing in 2005. And at that point, there was no suggestion he would have anything to do with Hitchhiker. And he was charming, and he was great with the kids, and he spoke of how he wished that The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, would play Butler in his film, you know, and the film was already being talked about at that time. So some years later, we're at 2009, there was a big celebration of the fact that his Hitchhiker book, was coming out. And we had a massive event in central London at the Royal Festival Hall, and the original cast came together to perform a sort of compact version of Hitchhiker produced by Dirt Mags. And it was a great success, and Owen Colfer took part I think he played the dish of the day, if I remember right. Anyway, he was so excited to meet all the actors. His enthusiasm for Hitchhiker was genuine because he said he was so used to hearing all the voices. It's the first time he'd met the actors and where those voices came from. So I have no doubt that his love of Hitchhiker is genuine. But something went wrong with the book. A lot of fans didn't like it. Some do. But there was a bit of a reaction against it. Mainly, I think, because it's not Douglas with the best will in the world.
Yeah.
And people are very loyal to Douglas and they don't really like to see him rewritten by other people, perhaps. Maybe someone else will get it right. You know, Dirk Maggs does a great job in adapting the radio shows. And then there was a stage tour in 2012 and 2013 of those radio shows. But no, it just didn't quite click. Something wasn't quite right with it. But I didn't really get on with the book. Simon Jones did a talking book. He read it for audio, and I really enjoyed it that way. Something about Simon doing the silly voices as well. I mean, he did a great Irish accent for Hillman Hunter. Yeah, it somehow it worked. And then, of course, there is the hexagonal phase. Dirk Maggs added in some bits of Douglas Adams that I was sent to go and look through the archives at Cambridge, and I found some little bits to add in to sprinkle it with some Douglasisms. But you know, the radio. If you're struggling with the book, please try the hexagonal phase, because I think
the radio adaptation is really good.
Yeah, and it's a nice way to finish it. I can't see there'll be any more. I'll be very surprised, but never say never.
Never say never.
I like because Kevin told us a lot of things, but he didn't really say that he didn't like it.
Yeah.
A big story for us. Like, no, but he's not Douglas Adams. Like,
but I think the feeling is the same with us, because it's like the book's good, but it's not Douglas. So
yeah,
you can appreciate it, but it's not the same, and it's never gonna be. So, but it's okay.
Sure.
There are some people who say that it was a good ending to the story, but it's not a good story, but it's a good ending. Like, okay, now it's closed. The story is closed.
Yeah, and I think the radio version did that even better than the book.
Oh, yeah.
Bom, para quem... Resumindo também, como eu falei, ele contou toda uma história em cima e não necessariamente ele falou que não gostou, mas teve aquele sentimento de não é Douglas Adams. Ele contou que o Liam já era fã do Colfer, principalmente por causa do Artemis Fall, e o Colfer era muito fã do Guia do Mochileiro das Galáxias, e quando saiu a ideia, né, dele fazer e tal, e assim, sabe aquela coisa? A gente aceita, ele é bom com as crianças também, faz boas histórias para as crianças, vamos ver o que sai daí. Mas, assim, saiu, foi legal, ele escreve bem, mas não é Douglas Adams, não teve aquela coisa do pessoal gostar tanto da história, mas a adaptação de rádio é muito boa. A adaptação é de 2018. 2018, the adaptation, right? The radio adaptation from the
most recent.
We have Stephen Hawking on the radio adaptation, so it's already a good thing.
That's a fucking good motivation to watch.
Watch the language.
Adaptação...
Sorry. Bye.
A adaptação para o rádio do sexto livro é muito boa. Dirk Maggs conseguiu pegar algumas coisas também de Douglas Adams para colocar na história. As atuações são incríveis, é muito legal de ouvir. E é o último trabalho do Stephen Hawking, aliás. Acho que ele faleceu uns dias depois que lançou, se eu não me engano. Alguma coisa assim, eu não lembro agora. Mas foi algo bem perto. Teve o lançamento e logo em seguida foi o anúncio de que Stephen Hawking tinha falecido. Sim. Mas apesar de ser baseado numa história que a galera não é tão fã, mas foi bem adaptado. Alguém... A gente pode começar, só como dica, a assistir daqui a 7 minutos, ou seja, mais 5. Kevin, I think we can start watching the TV adaptation in 6 minutes.
Yeah.
Do you want me to? You want me to just say short bits that you will then translate?
Maybe during the TV show, maybe. Yeah, a lot of people are understanding you, but some people they say, "Oh, please translate because I can't understand everything."
Then I'll say short. I'll say short bits so that.
Yeah, but during the TV show, I think it's easier to comment and everything. But you can show the things that it was used during the TV show. You can show the things that you have there. And people are asking which character do you like the most, or you identify?
Oh, I would so like to be full prefect, but I'm not. I'm Arthur Dent.
Like the one that I like, the one that I am. Reality.
Yeah.
Expectation
versus reality.
Acho que muita gente se identifica com isso. Ele fala que ele gostaria de ser o Ford Prefect, mas na verdade ele é um Arthur Dent.
É isso.
Deixa eu ver se tem mais pergunta.
Eu acho que eu tô mais pra Marvin ultimamente.
Nossa, we are all Marvin. Right
yeah,
now.
We are Marvin now.
We are
at the moment,
all Marvin.
Everybody likes and identifies themselves as Marvin.
Sometimes Marvin, sometimes Frenchurch.
Poor Frenchurch. Leon said, put an image in my mind. The elements mentioned in the book was quite hard at first. I want to know if he felt this too when he started to listen on the radio. So you started with the radio.
Yeah, I was an art student. I was at art college when the radio series was first broadcast in 1978, and I was at a friend's house, and he said he was going to listen to it, and I wasn't sure, but he said he wrote Pirate Planet, which was a fantastic series of a story of Doctor Who. It was so funny, so I took to it immediately, but listening to the radio was not something I did very often in those days, other than pop music channels. And I just loved it. All the images were in my head. Every version that's ever been made is different to what people are watching or listening would think. I think if you read the book, if you heard the radio, you made up your own images. And as you know, Douglas Adams himself, and certainly Dirk Maggs has said, you know, the pictures are better on radio.
Yeah.
So
awesome.
Specifically, I think by the time of the book, I'd seen the stage play in 1979. I'd seen the stage adaptation, the first one. And that created another whole set of images for me. So I think that's the beauty of it. Each reader comes up with their own idea, and then you have to keep an open mind when you watch a visual presentation, because that's somebody else's idea.
So, Kevin começou com rádio, como ele comentou antes. A primeira experiência dele com guia foi com rádio. Foi um amigo que chamou ele para ouvir. Ele não tinha o costume de ouvir séries de rádio até então. Mas aí o amigo dele falou, então, foi o cara que escreveu Pirate Planet, que é um episódio de Doctor Who. E aí ele foi convencido nesse momento, que ele já era fã de Doctor Who. E quando ele ouviu, ele achou incrível. As imagens vieram na mente dele naquele momento. E ele achou muito espetacular a produção. E isso até então, antes do livro, ele viu uma apresentação no teatro. Então já ajudou também a ter uma outra visão, né, da série. Já começa a ter... É mais fácil até, você começa a ter melhor como são cada personagem, cenário, etc. Mas é isso, a cada adaptação, a cada adaptação, até no rádio mesmo, você começa a ver a série de um jeito diferente, você começa a ter imagens diferentes para você. Bom, now we can prepare ourselves to watch it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna put it here for me, for my DVD.
Are you going to have a
Vamos-
countdown?
Yeah, Rafael is going to count down for us.
I don't know
Gente, vai assistir daqui a
numbers.
pouco, gente.
I don't know numbers.
I'm not gonna 3, 2, 1. I'm gonna CBA. Sorry, not
Oh,
familiar with numbers.
que chique, essa telinha do lado.
Eu não vou deixar o tempo todo porque strike. Mas de vez em quando.
Do you have this
Achei.
version? Do people
Yeah, I
have
have
this
the-
version?
I think
only
if you
lembra.
put without sound,
Yeah, I've got
Yeah,
just for
Without
people to
sound.
know when
I'm gonna
you
put
are,
without sound.
Yeah. But just of like a few seconds.
Yeah.
Are there any first-time viewers here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably yes.
Everybody ready?
everybody dance now.
Wait, because my DVD is making fun of me.
She used 80s technology.
I forgot to show my boxes, the VHS version. I love that.
Oh, that box. The box that
Yeah,
looks
I
like
bought-
VHS.
Yeah, I bought that box. I like that box.
To let people
Okay.
know, the first images that come up, the countdown, I did by hand.
Oh yeah,
Whoa,
Countdown transfer lettering.
yeah.
that's cool. I am.
My DVD doesn't let me how can I say pause, so we can like I can start play, but he doesn't let me pause.
I'm right on T.
People are
What
saying
about
you're
T?
so cute,
That
Kevin.
T. That little green T.
Oh, people are saying Kevin's cute.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
he
my
is.
I
He's so
haven't been
cute.
called that in a long time.
Look how cute he is.
Wait a minute.
I can see a T on the screen.
Just waiting for you. For
I
all
know.
you.
Wait.
Okay.
I promise it's gonna work at some point.
I'm gonna keep that little two window.
whatever. Okay.
Maybe.
It's 9 p.m. here, which is the time that it was first broadcast.
Really?
Whoa. How could you remember
Okay.
that?
I have is now I stopped it on the T as well.
Everybody on T?
Everybody on T. Yeah.
Mine
Okay.
says time 06.
C B A T.
Are we going?
Sure.
Yeah, started.
Yes.
Começamos. Vamos comentar um pouco sobre a série. Kevin já comentou que ele fez toda essa parte à mão, tudo bonitinho, do tempo, blá, blá, blá. Então vocês vão conhecer um pouco mais de como foi produzida a série, certo? E aí nos comentários do chat no YouTube está o link de onde você pode assistir a série no Facebook, certo?
Isso, eu tô
Ninguém
pegando
precisa-
as pessoas lá.
As pessoas, tudo. Eu posso dizer assim, quando vai chegar logo, mas uma das melhores.
Now this
aberturas.
sunrise is a model shot. Surprise, surprise.
It's a model.
Surprise, surprise. So beautiful.
Yeah, it worked very well.
I love the. It's Peter Jones, right?
Yes.
I love.
The original voice of the guide.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
the way that he speaks, the way like it's funny. I don't know how to explain, but it's funny and it's really good.
He used to do great radio shows where he would do improv with Peter Ustinov.
Yeah.
You know him?
The name I heard of it, but
yeah, he's an actor you might see in old films. And he was a great comedian and good at voices as well. And they did a great double act together on radio. Now, the logo was drawn by my boss, Rod Lord, based on the logo on the back of the paperback book, only more blocky.
First edition.
And here's Simon Jones as Arthur Dent, the original.
Simon Jones is amazing. He's from the radio as well, right?
From the radio show, yeah. And he was...
Então, o original, Simon Jones é o Arthur Dent original, porque ele é da série de rádio também, e ele fez a série de TV, e ele é incrível. E ele é bem alto.
And he was a friend...
Is he really
he was
tall,
a friend
like
of Douglas
looks?
Adams.
Looks like, né?
Like really tall.
He looks really tall. Not tall Douglas Adams, but tall.
Yeah.
He was friends with Douglas Adams at university. They were in the famous Cambridge Footlights together.
Oh, yeah.
Então, Simon Jones
I read about this.
eram amigos de faculdade, já trabalhavam juntos, então.
In fact, I've got a picture of that. The guy who just flew down the logo there, he died recently. His name was Alan Harris, and he was not a stuntman, but he was an extra in Star Wars and things like that.
The astronaut.
Yeah.
Se deixar, eu fico distraída aqui vendo a série.
Eu também tô assistindo, prestando atenção.
That sequence. The logic used in this.
That's a picture from about 1971, I think, with Douglas Adams and Simon Jones taking part in a film at university. I'll see if I can get it out of the package.
Uma imagem de Douglas Adams em 1971 na faculdade com Simon Jones. Fazendo a...
This is here we go.
Oh, that's nice.
Such young
you can
boys.
see Douglas. Yeah.
Awesome.
I can see his nose.
He looks like hippies.
Simon in the glasses. Well, this is about 1971.
71.
That's why they look like Beatles.
They were sitting in a field filming.
People are asking what is the song from the opening and if it's the original for the series or not.
What is the sun in the opening?
Yeah, the TV.
It was a glass globe with a lightning strike.
It was a song made for the TV show, or is this a song that it get it just?
Oh, the song! I thought you said the sun.
Oh, sorry.
Originally on the radio, BBC Radio were allowed to broadcast records as part of a drama. BBC Television can't do that. It would have cost them a lot of money to have the Eagles. So it was a new recording that was made for the vinyl LP by Tim Sousa. Now here's some of the animation, some of the early stuff by the company that I worked for. And most of this one, I think, was Rod Lord, except that globe, which was something that I drew, traced off images of an actual globe being turned frame by frame. I had loads of photographs and traced the image of the outline of the continents.
Awesome.
I think you should translate that part.
Ok. Ele está contando que, para caso alguém não saiba, ele foi um dos animadores, ou o animador, responsável por fazer essas animações, né? E essa cena do globo não era muito recorte, ele fazia cada desenho do globo girando. Então, ele usava uma referência e girava um pouquinho e aí fazendo um desenho novo para cada um dos frames.
tudo que ele falar de animação, você que vai contar, tá? Só pra você ficar...
Meu, e é muito da hora, porque você vê as fotos de como isso foi feito e tal. É uma sobreposição. Ah, tem que pedir para ele explicar melhor tecnicamente, que eu não vou saber falar, o Pá provavelmente vai saber também. Mas tem todo um negócio de sobreposição para dar esse efeito do lettering, da abertura, é muito louco.
Kevin, you had some eu não sei como diz acetato em inglês.
Diz o quê?
Acetato.
The,
Some layers
the
from the animation.
The materials.
I do. Now I'm going to have to find them all because I've got too many things here. I do have.
We can watch.
That's good. That's really good.
I forgot the word for the material.
Cell.
From the
Google
paper.
Translate,
Cell.
come on.
Cell. Acetate.
Yeah, acetate. Okay, acetato.
Acetato é acetate.
Ah, tá. Acetato.
I have a portfolio here.
Portfólio.
I have one too, but it's on YouTube.
I think the
Kevin is
Ford,
vintage.
I think the Ford from the TV show is more sarcastic than the one from the...
Yeah. Reminds me...
Is
Fantástica Fábrica de Chocolate?
This is not from episode 1, but I don't know if you can even see this without me showing something white behind it. Can you see?
Looks like
I'm going to explain Portuguese.
Yeah.
That's the play being and the little lizard lady. If I show you the back, it's lots of cut up bits of gel.
I can understand.
Yeah, it's difficult to explain. I wasn't expecting to do this now. I thought we'd do it in the break.
Então, são os acetatos onde se fazia os desenhos, porque vocês notaram que é bastante pintado de preto, porque a ideia é que tinha luz colorida vindo de trás dos acetatos e eles fotografavam por cima. E isso era que dava o efeito de iluminação.
Pá.
All the lettering.
Por causa da...
Não sei.
Ah, tá aparecendo aquele dificuldades técnicas nem existem.
Então tá tudo bem. Estamos de volta. Estamos de volta.
We're back. É isso aí. Peraí. Tá, gente, a BBC não vai nos derrubar mais.
Ninguém pode me culpar por ter tentado.
Então, a gente vai passar aos poucos. Por favor, tenham pausado a série agora. Mas a gente vai passar aos poucos.
Eu não pausei nada, não.
Mas aí é problema. Isso tem cara de problema seu. E aí. Mas aí a gente vai comentando do ponto que cada um parou. Mas assim, a gente obviamente não pode mais ficar passando a série o tempo inteiro. Vai passar só alguns trechos e o Kevin vai explicando. Kevin, we just back live now.
We lost you for a bit there.
But
we just missed Douglas Adams sitting at the back of the bar in the pub.
Oh,
which is a shame.
I just saw another thing about Douglas Adams, but we still have some. Let me see.
But the episode is now going out of the pub and going up into the sky. And
they still haven't arrived at the bar, so
okay.
I can't have that part because I paused. So
okay, I didn't pause.
We're now talking about the big radar dishes scanning for the Vogon ships and missing it, which is a shame because it was exactly the thing they've been looking for all these years. Now we're in the bar. Simon throws his pint glass on the floor
and
runs out the
galactic gargle blaster. It's always hard to say gargle blaster. In Portuguese is easier.
Really? The same name.
It's dynamite. In Portuguese it's dynamite.
Oh. Got it.
Sorry, Kevin, what did you say?
Have you paused your video? Because I left mine running.
Yeah,
No,
I paused
no.
when I paused when we strike. So
Ah.
now I'm at the
Now I saw the Vogons arrive.
Oh, we are all in the. I'm gonna.
Each other.
Yeah,
I've got
totally.
Paul Prefect. Paul Prefect is grabbing the peanuts.
Okay, I'm gonna
Awesome
put
phrase.
forward. Now we have Ford with peanuts, like phrases that usually you won't say.
Don't hear.
No.
Yeah, you don't hear. I'm gonna put my forward just to be with you. Hi, Draco.
Now you'll
Live
notice
again.
the only thing the bulldozer crashes is that lich gate. That's the bit the BBC provided. I'm glad to say the house is still standing.
Really? I'm gonna visit the house.
Look what I can do. Kevin fall.
Kevin just fall. I saw what you did there. Tô vendo isso aí. Você tentando.
Nossa, não posso nem fazer um xixizinho, já tô sendo julgado pelos amigos aqui, ó.
Eu tô acelerando, já que todo mundo falou que tava mais pra frente, agora eu tô acelerando o que eu tava vendo.
Estamos ouvindo vocês.
Alguém deu dislike, tô chateadíssima.
Eu não tô, não. Manda ver.
Que absurdo.
Que absurdo as pessoas dando dislike. Agora eu tô chegando na parte dos Vogons chegando. Enquanto isso, eu vou compartilhar todo mundo que tá marcando a gente no Instagram. Meu Deus, é muita gente.
Que coisa bonita isso, gente. Vocês compartilhando.
Olha lá o Kevin. Uhul.
Hi, Kevin.
Sorry about that. You lost me there a bit there. It's because I moved my phone across and it touched the keyboard. Lost me. Sorry, I'm back. Has anyone got any questions during the episode?
Alguém tem alguma pergunta sobre o episódio? Ele quer saber.
Have you had the shot of St. Paul's yet? The cathedral?
What?
Have you seen the aerial view over London with the Vogon ship coming?
I'm not in the part yet.
I'm trying to work out where you're up to because mine just got paused as well.
Okay, Arthur is. It's funny that Simon Jones Arthur, he's like really, really insane when he sees his house being
crushed.
Like, he's screaming. It's really funny. It's really good.
Also funny enough,
começa no
where they filmed him against the head, he's looking at a field of cows.
Like
in real life.
I mean that part, like showing the city and the sheep coming.
Yeah.
That part.
That's one of the first things shot. In fact, the first thing shot for the series. They went to the top of the building in London, which was a very tall building at the time. They're much bigger now. But it was the NatWest Bank building. And now it's known as Tower 42.
That's wonderful.
Agora o número é 42, é isso?
É. A cena da série que mostra Londres, assim, toda, né, que os Vogons estão chegando, eles fizeram de um prédio bem alto para pegar a cidade toda, e, se eu não me engano, era de um banco, e hoje em dia a torre se chama Torre 42. Acho lindo.
And now the Vogon is floating in a V-shaped chair on the end of a seesaw. So it's kind of
this Vogon is really ugly.
Really
he's
ugly.
sitting there and he's riding up and down, and there's two guys on the other end moving it.
No.
Very high tech. I love that old guy there. And this is a very old
they're
joke.
Screaming to the show, yeah, get out of here.
That the end is night. That wasn't in the script, I don't think. That was an Alan Bell addition.
I got things back here.
You just said that, like, they just tell people, okay, just scream to tell them to leave. Or there was a script for that as well.
Run for your lives.
That was done on a Sunday morning at the at the Bank tube station, which is right in the centre of the city. And in those days, the city was really quiet on Sundays. Not so quiet nowadays. That's a beautiful shot of the ship. That's a really good model shot.
Now we have the Earth.
When the Earth explodes, Douglas said for a moment he wanted all the stars to be washed out so you couldn't see them, which is why when it cuts to this huge explosion done Star Wars style, which is a camera pointing up at the ceiling, a high ceiling in the studio, and an explosion, the firework is let off up in the ceiling. All the bits drop towards camera. Whoa. With a sheet of glass covering the camera.
I love that idea.
It's how they did it on Star Wars.
Bom, basicamente, a explosão da série de TV foi inspirada em Star Wars.
Yeah.
A explosão da
light, glow sticks. You know those chemical glow sticks?
Yeah.
You crack them and they light. Yeah. They were very new in those days. That was something new and exciting. The set designer, Andrew Howe Davis, came up with that one.
Olha, gente, usaram bastãozinho de rave na série de TV.
Em português é isso.
Bastão de rave.
Bastãozinho de baladinha.
All the stuff we've seen at Arthur's house so far was all filmed in May of 1980. Mm-hmm. So over 40 years ago. And this that we're looking at now is in the first studio day. They used to film on location and video in studio. And the studio day was the 7th of June, 1980. So we're coming up to the 40th anniversary of that first studio day.
Bom, a área externa, a área da parte da casa do Arthur foi filmada em maio de 1980. E essa parte que eles estão dentro da nave Vogon, que é a parte de estúdio, foi filmada em junho, começo de junho. Então estamos chegando nos 40 anos da primeira filmagem em estúdio da série de TV. E eu sei, meu áudio tá baixo, gente, mas não tem muito o que fazer, porque meu microfone, meu fone não ajuda muito. O áudio
tá bom.
Não, mas tem gente falando.
Não, a galera falou que o da Mai tá baixo.
É, o meu tá baixo.
Ai, mano.
Pra lá.
The Dentrassi. We never get to see the Dentrassi, do we, in the movie, I don't think. That was a little puppet made and operated by Jim Francis, who was the visual effects designer.
Now I'm gonna answer the question. Why 25 May? I will say, that's the day they filmed the series.
Now,
an important day.
Say that. Now I'm gonna tell you why the 25. Because it was the day they started shooting the TV show. That's it.
Yeah.
That's what we're gonna tell everyone.
I used to have a little sticker on the video camera box that I carried around, and I filmed behind the scenes during this studio day. And on it, it said Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, June the 7th or bust. Oh, you're showing me where you're up to. That animation.
Here we go.
Nossa, como a gente vai falar gambiarra em inglês?
These animations are really, really good.
We were given photographs of the Vogons to base this on, and Rod Lord drew those beautiful cartoon Vogons.
Brazil.
I drew the Vogon spaceships based on photographic reference. We photographed the models and took reference pictures. All these, Rod Lord had to uncover all these letters, one letter at a time, and then take a frame, uncover another letter, take a frame. Took ages.
People ask if you get like too much from the budget, if you spend more than you had for the budget of the TV show.
Probably,
yeah.
Always happen.
Did you spend too much on the budget for the TV show, Kevin? Like for the animations or all the effects?
Do you know what? I think the animation was one of the things that was actually on budget. The live action went massively over budget. This episode of Hitchhiker was the most expensive one.
This
The
one?
first
And
one?
it was something like, it cost £120,000,
Ah,
which was 4 times what one episode of Doctor Who cost at that time.
really?
So this one episode equals 4 episodes of Doctor Who in those days. And it's partly because this series was made by a different department. This series was made by the Light Entertainment department, who had bigger budgets, would you believe? They were also doing comedy shows and the shiny floor shows, you know, singing the music extravaganzas. Whereas Drama, who made Doctor Who, just didn't have the same budget. But that's just internal BBC accounting. Go figure.
Bom, basicamente, fazer o primeiro episódio da série custou o que em reais seria 3 milhões.
E equivalia a 4 episódios de Doctor Who na época, né?
Imagina, Doctor Who já era uma série gigante.
Consagrada, né? Já tinha 200 temporadas naquele ano.
Ah, sim. Então, a série já tinha 20 anos, quase. E aí, primeiro episódio do Guia saiu muito além do orçamento. Mas, por incrível que pareça, a parte de animação foi o que estava dentro do orçamento da série. Doctor Who sempre foi... Doctor Who was always low budget, people are saying.
Yeah. It looks much better nowadays, I have to say. But I love classic Who. That was what I was used to when I was growing up, you know. Oh, it was my favourite programme until Hitchhiker came along.
He stole your heart.
I think working on this show marked a turning point for me of enjoying Doctor Who as a viewer. But then I got to visit the studio and I spent 3 days watching Doctor Who being made. And it was like seeing how a magician does his tricks, you know. Suddenly it wasn't quite so glamorous. And
it's not so funny anymore.
No. And I think that for the 1980s, I was still loyal to Doctor Who, you know, just wishing it was better.
That's the feeling.
I think that is the same feeling people are having now with the new Who, like the new seasons.
By the way, this the Bogon Captain was an actor who had masses of experience. You might see him in the film The Omen, where he had a kind of half mask. He was a monk who had been disfigured. He was in A Shot in the Dark, the Peter Sellers, the very early Pink Panther film. But his most famous role was he was the Prime Minister in The King and I with Yul Brynner.
Okay, I think I know who he is.
You know the musical? That was a 1950s, 58, was it? Something like that. So he had a good career. He did some interesting things. But I think he struggled under all that green makeup.
Yeah, like, look at the nose and the eyebrow. Like, it's too much. It's too much face.
Too much.
Too much face.
Now, these towels that they have were specially made. There were 6 of them, just in case anything got dirty or lost. The towels that they have in this, yeah.
60.
Just 6.
Oh, less better.
Now, here we go. We didn't talk about this earlier, but look what I have here.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. The Hitchhiker's
This is not the
Guide.
actual one. This is
The
one I used in the
original one.
No, it came out of the original mold. It's exact.
Okay.
It's rather fragile now. The screen wants to fall out, and this bit is a heavy piece of perspex.
Do you like
Now,
this?
this
It's fragile.
What we're looking at now.
My precious.
Where's it gone? There we go.
Isso é muito legal.
Rod Lord, my boss, he sells these beautiful art prints, right?
Awesome.
Yeah, I have one of these.
Have you?
Yeah,
You can order them. Go to rodlord.com. You can order them. Little.
I didn't expect that so big.
Oh.
Can we see that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There we go. That's an advert for my boss. If you want beautiful prints like this.
Awesome.
The Babelfish sequence, the first half of the Babelfish sequence, was the first animation done as a test piece. And Rod Lord invited Alan Bell and the BBC Graphics liaison guy, Doug Bird, and Douglas Adams to come to the studio to visit. Oh, the dingo's kidneys. That was the first thing I drew. But anyway, they came to visit to view the first half of the Babelfish animation to give it their approval, and they did. And so that meant that we could carry on with the rest of the work. So Rod spent many hours slaving over this sequence. I was just a junior. I was learning, but he gave me little bits to draw every now and again, like the dingo's kidneys. So
dingo's kidneys.
Yeah. And there were lots and lots of little things of painting little blobs to make those lines pulsate through the Babelfish innards. In fact, to get the reference for that, I went back to the library where I used to work. And the woman who didn't like me saw me, and I told her I was there to research for a BBC programme. So there.
It's a job. I'm going to behave. Don't worry. It's just for a job. Right now, just a bit.
Go on then, yeah.
Ele falou antes, eu fui deixando ele falar para sempre. Se deixar, vai ficar falando, eu esteja traduzindo.
Né?
Primeiro ele falou que ele visitou os estúdios de Doctor Who, ele era muito fã já, ele gostava muito. E ele viu que não, assim, não era tão legal, assim, não era tão glamouroso assim. Mas ele continuou sendo fã, só que é aquela coisa, né? Às vezes você vê, tipo, eu não achei que fosse dessa forma. E ele também já achava que os episódios anteriores eram melhores e tal, isso já pensando no final dos anos 70, né? Ele explicou um pouco das animações. Alguém perguntou, deixa eu achar. Someone asked what Douglas thought about the first shooting and the animations.
Well, Douglas was always very, very positive about the animation. As time went on, he became less positive about the TV show generally. He very much enjoyed going on location, and he was friendly with the actors, and he used to take the actors off to nice restaurants and treat them when they were away on location. Mm-hmm. But he didn't invite Alan Bell. So it became like a little gang of Douglas and the actors versus the producer-director. So that didn't make for a sort of happy situation. We got at the Pierce Studios where I worked for Rod Lord, all of us, we got on very well with Alan Bell. But then we were kind of separate. We were not BBC. We were an outside company, although we had BBC cutting rooms down the same corridor. So yeah, it was a bit sad. I find it very sad to look back on it because, of course, I was so enjoying it all. It was all very exciting to me, but I was not really aware of all the tensions that were going on, you know, behind the scenes. Probably until a bit later on, you know, when because it was another 12 years when I started to make the making of Hitchhikers. If you buy the DVD or the Blu-ray, you can see my documentary, which covers it all.
Yeah.
And by then, I knew all the stories. I knew what had gone on. We'd suffered the disappointment of no Series 2. And you know, so I look back on it still very fondly, but the telling of it grew over the years. Douglas would be less and less positive about the TV show experience generally, except for the animation. He always supported our animation, so you know, grateful for that. But anyway, that's episode 1 done. Are you going to have time for episode 2?
Yeah, we just finished the first one. A gente acabou de assistir o primeiro episódio da série. O Kevin falou que Douglas Adams adorava animação, as animações, ele sempre aprovava, sempre curtia, sempre se animava quando assistia. A questão toda do Douglas Adams era o relacionamento com a produção em si. O Alan Bell era o produtor da série e ele meio que... O Douglas Adams formou aquela famosa panelinha com os atores. Ele saía para jantar com os atores e fazia rolê, todo mundo, e o Alan Bell não ia. Então virava aquela panelinha de atores e produção. Então rolava mais ou menos isso, e ao longo da série isso foi ficando mais evidente. Ficou mais de um lado Douglas Adams e a galera terceirizada e os atores, do outro lado a BBC, sabe, basicamente isso. Mas em questão de como eram feitas as animações, os efeitos, ele gostava bastante. Deixa eu ver, teve mais pergunta aqui. Vamos ver.
Pessoas perguntaram se tá todo mundo com a toalha.
Tá todo mundo com a toalha? Eu tô
Todo
com a minha
mundo.
toalha aqui, ó.
Aqui.
Linda, maravilhosa. Do you have your towel, Kevin?
Yeah, that's why I've just read that. So I patted it. That's the
He has
I
the
think
towel,
he
he
has
has the
two
robe.
towels. Yeah, the towel.
behind me. There's this
has
one,
the
which
scarf.
is the.
He has everything. He's amazing.
Can you see that?
Prepared man.
Yeah.
Someone asked another question. The ship, Heart Gold, was the solution to not be needed to destroy the Earth. You think that it could be a solution to not destroy Arthur's house as the situation was the same?
I'm not sure if I understand that question. Can you explain a bit more?
So, Heart of Gold, the ship was the solution, so the Earth shouldn't be destroyed, something like that. Do you think that it could have a solution? Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Well, in the movie, they bring the house back at the end, don't they?
Yeah.
In this version, this original version, no, the house is destroyed and that. But the BBC
we don't have a solution.
The BBC couldn't afford to show it.
We don't need a solution.
They
The
built
BBC
that
didn't
what's
afford
called a lift gate and smashed that down. But I'm not
for
quite
another
sure.
Earth.
Well, that's the multi-universe theory, isn't it? So yes, maybe somewhere out there, there's another version.
There was there
Calma.
something that Douglas didn't approve at first on the TV show, or everything he just liked it?
Sorry, I missed the first part of that.
Was there anything that Douglas didn't approve at first on the TV show?
I think he had various sort of arguments with Alan Bell about the way he wanted to do things. The one that sticks in my mind was that he thought that maybe the mice in episode 4 could be people dressed up, which was more of a kind of Monty Python way of doing things.
Like Lester from Bigman's Word.
They did it that way on stage. In one stage version, it was people dressed up. In fact, Mike Kuehl, who plays the Vogon Guard in the next episode, he played one of the mice on stage. But no, for a TV version, I think Alan Bell was trying to make all of these fantastic ideas as real as possible, whereas Douglas was looking at it in a sort of more abstract way. Now, if Douglas had got his way, and Jeffrey Perkins, the radio producer, if he had taken over for series 2, which is what Douglas wanted, maybe they would have gone more radical. But Alan Bell was kind of more old school BBC. And so, this TV series is a mixture of the two.
Bom, basicamente o Douglas Adams gostava da série, mas tinha algumas coisas que ele debatia com o Alan Bell. Uma das coisas que o Kevin lembra é que ele queria que os ratos no quarto episódio fossem mais pessoas vestidas, tipo, bem Monty Python. E Douglas Adams queria que a série fosse uma coisa mais abstrata e Alan Bell era mais realista. Mais estilo BBC, assim.
A Dreca lembrou bem do Lester, do Mundo de Bigman.
Mundo de Bigman.
Exatamente, é uma boa referência até. E acho que se a segunda temporada fosse produzida com quem produziu a série de rádio, junto com Douglas Adams, talvez ela teria acontecido e seria algo mais radical, mais ao estilo deles. Let me see if there's more questions. Okay, we have a friend. He has a website about Monty Python here.
Oh, right.
His name is Thiago, and he asked that if you could choose, would you choose to have 2 heads and an extra arm on a brain the size of a planet?
Oh, it's got to be the brain, isn't it?
It's gotta be the brain.
Yeah, that's got to come first.
E o braço extra.
Yeah,
The brain.
Everybody, all men say they want a bit more of something, but the brain is where it's at.
People complain about but it's not that big about Marvin adaptation. Everybody says, but the head is not that big, so it had that brain.
Well, in 1981, just after the TV series, I did a drawing, which you might have seen, of Marvin, a cross-section through Marvin. Now, whether I can find it is another matter, but I've got it here somewhere. And in that, I rang up Douglas to say, would it be okay to say that Marvin has a brain the size of a planet floating in hyperspace? That he's connected? And Douglas agreed to that.
Oh,
the joke
that's really a good way to go.
Yeah, the joke is, of course, you know, computer memory and everything is getting smaller and smaller. So why would it have to be the size of a planet nowadays? Back then we just thought, well, massive computer has to be huge. But no.
When people talk about head of the size of the planet, I just remember of Little Prince.
What was that?
Petit Prince, actually. The book.
You speak French.
Sorry, pardon. The little planet that he lives.
Wasn't there a little world inside something in the Men in Black?
Sure. Inside the necklace?
Yeah. Well, I haven't got the finished image here some reason, but I do have this drawing, which was Marvin in cross section.
Yeah.
Which then became a poster. Now I think of it. Let's try something.
I think I have the poster here.
If I can share the image. If you've got it, you can show it, but let me see if I can.
I'm gonna answer some questions.
I'm going to show you my screen.
Oh, I love the image. It's really good.
Hang on a minute.
Can you see?
We have here.
Kevin, can you see this?
You've got it, have you?
Yeah.
That's I prepared some pictures here to show you guys.
You gave me this and this other one.
Ah.
This and this.
Can you see it on the shared screen as well?
What?
You can't see it on my shared screen, can you?
I love that picture.
Can you see that?
No, it's not showing your...
It's not showing, never mind.
Yeah, your screen.
Never mind. So you have it anyway, that's the main thing.
I'm gonna answer some questions now. Reinaldo perguntou se Douglas aprovou todas as escolhas, mas, Reinaldo, boa parte do elenco da série de TV já era da série de rádio. Então, meio que já não teve muita diferença. Então, obviamente, estava aprovado.
Tudo pré-aprovado.
Tudo pré-aprovado. O Simon era amigo dele já, mas boa parte das pessoas que estavam na série de TV já faziam parte da série de rádio ou faziam parte da adaptação para o teatro, que já rolava, as turnês. Então, isso era o mais comum.
Sim.
Deixa eu ver o que mais. People are asking about Douglas' personality, how he was.
That's right after we head to a part of the galaxy.
I've got my video playing too early. Douglas's personality was always boundless enthusiasm about things. We know now that in private he had these, depressive moments, which is why he said that he was more like Marvin than Arthur. I always thought he was like Arthur, but in every time that I ever had any dealings with him, it was his mischievous sense of humor and his enthusiasm. He had a passion for all sorts of things, ideas mainly, scientific ideas, comedy ideas. That was what Hitchhikers was all about, and that's what he was all about. He spoke like one of his Hitchhiker scripts, and that's because he wrote in the way that he spoke.
His personality was in the book.
Yeah.
Bom, basicamente, Douglas Adams era uma pessoa bem animada, bem extrovertida, mas entre os amigos, né, as pessoas no íntimo dele, assim, ele falava que ele era mais o Marvin, por ser uma pessoa um pouco mais depressiva, mas o Kevin falou que ele parecia mais um Arthur Dent mesmo. E basicamente o jeito que ele escreveu era o jeito que ele falava. Então, assim, tudo que ele escreveu, o guia, Dark Gently, os roteiros, tudo era o jeito que ele falava normalmente. Então, o que a gente lê é Douglas Adams. É isso.
Acho que ele tinha um pouco de todas as personalidades, assim, né? Os personagens são muito baseados nele.
É tudo autobiográfico. Não é essa a palavra, mas vocês entenderam. Os personagens são todos baseados nele, em alguma parte dele.
Sim. Uma personalidade dele, né? Os vários Douglas. People are saying that Fred said that he likes Marvin from the movie, but the Marvin from the TV show is the one that he likes the most, especially because it looks like more Doctor Who vibe.
True.
Do you know, there was a special meeting at the BBC in Alan Bell's office with various heads of department, and I was lucky enough to be invited to this. I think Rod Lord got fed up with the meetings and let me go to some instead. And this one was all about Marvin, how to design Marvin, and people scribbled things on paper and discussed things. And I do remember pointing at a window ornament of an Easter Island head. Do you know those massive figures? I've forgotten what they're called on Easter Island.
Easter Island?
I don't know.
Yeah. The big stone heads, long faces.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, that's so.
And Alan Bell had a little figurine of one on his window ledge at the office. And I said, well, that's a good face. And I think Jim Francis, that was about the only good thing that came out of that meeting, because at the end of the meeting, they went to the visual effects guy, Jim Francis, well, we don't know, you go, you do it. So he went off and he only had about 3 weeks to make Marvin. And I went to a costume fitting with David Lerner, who I understand you're going to be talking to tomorrow. And he might remember this. He was trying out the costume for the first time, and they were having to file down Marvin's knees so that David could bend his knees better. And this was the day before they were going on location down to Cornwall with Marvin in the clay pit, you know, the surface of Magrathea. You want to explain all that?
Poor thing walking around like this.
Yeah.
Gente, basicamente, Marvin da série de TV é baseado nas estátuas da Ilha de Páscoa. Os cabeções, assim. Eles viram, durante a reunião, tinha um bonequinho da cabeça. Falaram, nesse aí, eu gostei dessa ideia. Eu gostei disso aí. E surgiu o Marvin. Por sinal, eu gostei muito da referência. Deixa eu ver. Tem mais perguntas? Gente, daqui a pouco... Às 6 a gente assiste o segundo episódio. In 9 minutes we watch the second episode, ok?
Ok.
Ele também mencionou que a primeira vez que o cara vestiu o ator que a gente vai conversar amanhã, a live de amanhã, a primeira vez que ele vestiu a roupa do Marvin, ele teve que fazer uns ajustes porque era muito difícil de caminhar. Os joelhos não dobravam.
We have David Hicks watching us. He said that he worked with you on making the Hitchhikers.
I know David very well. Yeah, and
Hi, David.
He filmed.
Hi, David.
He filmed the interview with Douglas Adams a couple of times, I think, and also the making of Hitchhikers. He was heavily involved in that. So yeah, David's been involved in lots of different projects I've done. We've done many things together. So good to see he's watching.
People want to hear about Doctor Who. So we're gonna do like this. We're gonna watch the second episode in a few minutes, and then after the episode, we talk about Doctor Who.
Okay.
Right?
In which case,
Okay.
In which case, I'm going to need a comfort break.
Okay, we're gonna stop for 7 minutes. Okay, that's it. That's good.
7.
Yeah, it's 7 because I want to start at 6 or something like that.
Okay.
Or you need more? Do you need more
I need
minutes?
to disappear just for 2 minutes.
Ok.
Ok.
Então vamos fazer um intervalo. Às 6 a gente volta e a gente vai assistir o segundo episódio e depois a gente fala de Doctor Who. Certo?